So, moving on from talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp, let's talk about that Star Wars, Solo, a Star Wars story. Now, coming into this one, I think that Ansel Elgort, not Ansel Elgort, not him. Damn it. Why the hell did I say that dude's name? Alden Ehrenreich. Does it seem to you all that that he's trying to do a Harrison Ford impression a little bit, like with his voice and everything like that?
I don't see that at all.
To me, it seemed like he was trying to do a little bit of like a Han Solo type voice, a little bit. I mean, even with his hair, they try to get that classic Harrison Ford hair that he had in the first Star Wars movie. I think a lot of the colors look very washed out. A lot of the color palette actually reminds me a lot of Rogue One. It has a lot of the kind of similar feeling to Rogue One as far as getting a team together. Woody Harrelson in the film said, I'm getting a crew together to pull off a job.
Hey, kid, I'm putting together a crew.
And you see, Han Solo, you see Emilia Clarke, you see Donald Glover as Lando, who looks like the smoothest motherfucker in all the galaxy.
He does. He does.
I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, if I'm excited to see this movie for any reason, it's just to see what Donald Glover does as Lando and to see if he can just build upon that and just.
I think that's this trailer's greatest strength and its greatest weakness is that I agree with you wholeheartedly, in that I don't care about Solo. I kind of want to see Lando.
Yeah. I think I'm just really curious to see what Donald Glover does as that character. I mean, he's a Renaissance man. He's a man of all talents. He can write. He can, do stand up. He can, do music. He can act. I mean, this man is a man of all talents. So I'm really interested to see what he'll do as that character. You also see Thandie Newton. She's in the movie as well. You see some robots, and I mean, excitement level for this. You hear a lot of issues that have had, like this movie's been in trouble production. Like, there's a lot of people saying that Disney doesn't even want to release this movie, that they're kind of begrudgingly doing it. They fired Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who at first they were attached to the project they were directing, and then they let them go to bring in Ron Howard.
Right, when the movie was basically 90% done.
Yeah, they bring in Ron Howard because they said Phil Lord and Chris Miller were trying to do too much slapstick type stuff, which when I heard that, I was like, that doesn't describe their humor at all.
Yeah, no, their humor is very quick-paced, quick-witted. Very what I would imagine Han Solo movie to be. Like, I'm not going to take a super serious movie. Being something with kind of like a genuine heart. Like, if you've watched any of the Lego movies, especially the first two, Lego Batman and the Lego movie, very quick-witted, very quick on the jokes, very extensive eye for detail.
Yeah.
And that doesn't slapstick, really almost insults their comedy style.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're much more smarter than that. I think they're not like the Farrelly brothers or anything like that. Like, when I hear slapstick, I think of something like that.
But even that's an insult to slapstick comedy, considering the Three Stooges.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
and those guys were masters of slapstick. Even Charlie Chaplin, was a slapstick comic, and he was a master at it. It takes a lot of timing. It's easy to be lazy with it.
Yeah,
but I see what you're saying.
Yeah, and they had to actually bring in like an acting coach on set for Alden Ehrenreich, which seems kind of crazy because like. Hail Caesar, I know a lot of people didn't really love
take that
movie.
literal scene when he's just a whole scene where he's just trying to teach him how to act, and he's acting as a bad actor.
Merrily we dance, 27 Apple, take 2. Action.
Oh, Monty, come join me on the divan. seems Allegra's a no-show, which is simply a bore. But I'll partner you in bridge. Why the pout?
Would that it were so simple.
Cut.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And like a lot of people, I know a lot of people kind of lukewarm on that movie, but a lot of people came away going, he was really great in it. So, I mean, that's kind of surprising. I mean, what did you guys think about the trailer? Like, what did you guys think about it?
90s, why don't you go first?
I didn't like it.
Why?
I don't know. It's just not my type of movie, to be honest with you.
Okay. Can you elaborate just a little bit more at all?
In all honesty, I got nothing.
Okay. What about you, Dust?
I will agree. I'm not super excited for this movie. I didn't really ask for it.
Mm.
But effects looks all right. I do like kind of the Western feel they're going for. I think could be interesting. I like the space aspects of it, and actually seeing kind of the Empire in more of a kind of bureaucratic light is actually really fascinating and something I'm surprised why they haven't done before.
Right.
I think that was one thing I was missing is, oh, Rogue One, yeah, the Empire's evil. It's like, well, what about the benign stuff? Empires just don't get up and stay there if they're always doing this. There has to be somewhat of an odd or at least a sacrificial success to their power.
Right.
And it's like, oh, yeah, no. Come and join the Empire. See the stars. Kind of like that kind of mentality. And you're like, I'm curious to see that. Like, oh, what sector do you want to be? Trust me, you're going to really enjoy this. You won't regret joining up with us.
So you want to make a difference?
Yeah.
Trust me, you're gonna love it.
And it's like, I want to be a pilot. Like, all right, plenty of pilots out there. But I'm going to be the best one ever. And I'm like, that doesn't, okay. That doesn't really sound like Han Solo. But yeah, all right, sure.
And which branch are you interested in joining?
I'm gonna be a pilot. Best in the galaxy.
I'm cautiously optimistic. It has every right to be terrible.
Right.
It has every absolute right to be absolutely terrible. Some of the lines of dialogue isn't exactly well done either. Kind of, not Joel Edgerton. I almost said Joel Edgerton. What's the actor for Solo again?
Alden Ehrenreich.
Alden Ehrenreich. I would say young enough. I think they picked particularly, I want to say, not great moments of comedy to kind of splice in, where he's kind of, I think Hail Caesar, he does have a knack for it. I am curious they might be wanting him to portray a type of acting that he hasn't done before, and he maybe doesn't have the charisma to pull off. Certain acting, that's just not their forte, and you don't hire them for that.
Right. Like,
so I am curious to seeing how the most thing I worry about this movie is its tonal issues. At one point, it seems like it kind of wants to be somewhat taken seriously.
right.
But I do appreciate the more lightheartedness, and I get the feeling that when they said the movie was mostly done when they brought in Ron Howard, I'm pretty sure it was mostly done, and it's just going to be a tonal cobble. The worst part is it's just going to be a tonal cobble mess that they're just stitching together to try and make a movie just to release obligely, out of obligation.
Right. Just because they got footage.
Yeah, because they got the footage and they might as well use it. We've already dumped like several $1 million into it. Truth is, I didn't want this Han Solo movie. I don't need it. Worst case scenario, if this movie sucks, good, there won't be another one, and I'm fine with that. And I didn't need it. Best case scenario, it's an actually possibly decent movie and an interesting foray into the just science fiction. I don't even count Star Wars universe anymore.
Right.
This is an interesting science fiction movie that you could maybe separate from Star Wars if you wanted, but is part of its general universe. Okay. Will it be canon to what I think Han Solo is as a character or in the other movies? Probably not. And honestly, my canon for the movies began and ended with the original trilogy.
Right.
So really, anything that Disney has been doing afterwards, I just consider big budget fan films,
Right.
successful or not. So to me, like if this one goes down in flames, no big deal. But I am curious. I do like that Western appeal that it's kind of going for. I do like the grittiness. I do like the, dare I say, almost 80s style lighting and effects and practicality that it's showcasing.
I can see that.
I like that. I am intrigued by that. And I'm oddly hopeful to see where it goes. And just to see Donald Glover just put to play, not Donald Glover.
You can say Childish Gambino. That's what I do.
Childish Gambino playing his heart out as Lando Calrissian, which I think was a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
I'd agree.
In fact, they should have just skipped Solo and gone straight to Lando.
Yeah. Aesthetically, a lot of it kind of also looks like a little bit like Blade Runner, a little bit.
You know what I was also thinking of? This movie reminds me, art-wise. Does
what?
anyone remember that an N64 Star Wars game way back in the day, Shadows of the Empire? Did anyone ever play that?
No, I never played that.
Because there are points in that game that I could swear, especially when they're showing the visor, looking at Solo in the initial teaser, it's like the main character from Shadows of the Empire. Weird kind of. All right, I've seen that before. That's kind of interesting. That kind of more gritty, kind of this is the mercenary life. Because this is the closest I'm ever going to get. Because the game where Jango Fett was going to be a mercenary with no Jedi, Star Wars 1313, was canceled by Disney.
Right.
And because when Lucas film was shut down, or at least the LucasArts. So this is the closest I'm ever going to get. So just for that alone, I hope it's good.
Okay.
But
No.
if it's not,
Yeah.
I think it has all in its right to probably not be good. But I'm cautiously optimistic. What about you, Josh? What do you think?
Like I said, it's a lot of people coming in. It's probably with low expectations, because a lot of people hear about the troubled production, a lot of this. So a lot of people are not expecting much from it. So I think it has that going in its favor. Because if people are kind of excited or blown away by it, they'll be like, "Oh, well, I didn't expect it to be that good." I think that also that like you brought up a good point about the Empire and showing it as this like this place people go to is like, hey, you want to learn how to fly, you want to learn how to do these different things, hey, come work for the Empire. I mean, they're kind of the only real game in town, it seems like, other than that, or just working some low level job, or maybe get into
Who else are you gonna go to?
Yeah, or maybe get into a life of crime. It seems like what you're just kind of gonna do. I mean, I'm gonna see it anyway. I'm not. Listen. I like Star Wars. I don't hang on Star Wars nuts. I don't.
Same.
You know what I mean? But I'm not. I just don't go everything Star Wars. Oh my God! And I just don't blow up at everything Star Wars. I'm cautiously, cautiously optimistic about it. And I'll see what it has for me. And yeah, I mean, like if it's like a fun heist type movie, if they do something like that, like you see maybe Amelia Clark, maybe she's going like undercover or something like that.
You got to steal the Hope Mega Diamond, and it's inside like a ridiculous vault that only travels through the sky and only serves these ridiculous people, and that's why that woman is like singing in the middle of just an empty ship, because that's the only way they can move it.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of cool. That'd be interesting. I hadn't seen that before.
Yeah, you see like a scene with like a train or something, like this odd looking train. So yeah,
kind of he uses like reverse gravity as like kind of twisting on the rails. That's kind of interesting imagery.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I will say I stand by my opinion that yes, last time if I'd rather see Han Solo movie or the new Miles Morales movie, I stand by that. I'll take Miles Morales any day.
Yeah. And
yes,
it'd be interesting how this movie does in the box office, because like
you got especially
Avengers,
with the whole China issue.
Yeah, you get Avengers Infinity War there, and this is coming out May 25th. Avengers, it's coming out May 4th, and then doesn't Deadpool 2 also come out May?
Not sure.
I think that the date got moved to like May, I want to say. Yeah, because I think it got changed or something like that. it's coming out May
Uh,
18th. May 18th.
May 18th.
Yeah.
Man,
Yep.
if Deadpool 2 comes out around that time, I think Solo is already in more trouble than I thought.
Yeah, because I think that's probably gonna steamroll over Solo. That's probably gonna
Oh, yeah.
steamroll over it.
Oh, especially in China, where Disney has done its best to distance themselves from Star Wars in China, and just gone down to they just calling it now Ranger Solo.
Yeah. So
It's really sad.
China does not fuck with Star Wars at all. They do not.
Not anymore.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna see it. Yeah, like I said, cautiously optimistic about it. And like you said, I don't think Alden Ehrenreich, like playing a character with all this type of different swagger and like, Harrison Ford was Harrison Ford. You know what I mean? He was that character of Han Solo. He made that character. So him coming into it would be very interesting to see how he does that. Because
That's why most people don't do this kind of thing.
No.
They don't do that because when someone or actor has played a character so definitively, you can't just, we're going to cast another actor in that character's role when especially so tied to each other. Like you wouldn't go, hey, Peter O'Toole, you played Lawrence of Olivier, Oscar-nominated, incredible acting and performance. We're going to do what he was like when he was like 15 and all that, his inspiration to go to Arabia. And we're going to have him be portrayed by Joel Edgerton or Eggsy from The Kingsman.
Right, yeah.
And you're just like, no, he brings a complete, that you don't do that.
It feels a little bit like, maybe it's a situation where it's like Dane DeHaan trying to make him like a leading actor. Maybe he's just not a leading actor. Maybe he's just a good character actor. And Hollywood's trying to make him a leading actor. It's like
just like Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford is more of a character actor than a leading actor.
You think so? I think he's a great.
I think he's a better character actor than he is a leading actor. I'm not saying he does a bad job as a leading actor, but I think he does, especially when he was somewhat younger. Like I'm not saying super much younger, but about like maybe. I thought he did. The best he's done, I think, would be The Fugitive. I think that he did a great job as the lead guy there. But I think he's just a genuinely good character actor. And yeah, we don't always need leading men. Right. But yeah, I stand by. I agree with you, Josh. I'm cautiously optimistic, but hey, man, it doesn't work out. It doesn't work out.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna cry. I ain't gonna cry about it.
Yeah, that's true. Hello, thanks for checking out our content. If you liked it, let us know, and if you didn't, let us know that as well. If you want to see more content, we post every Saturday on SoundCloud and YouTube at The Afternoon Tune. You can also find us through various social medias, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, all one word at The Afternoon Tune. And if you don't deal with any of that social media stuff, you can also find us through our email at theafternoontune@gmail.com. And don't forget to always stay tuned.